Well, hey, it's Rhonda Simmons again, the founder and CEO of the Simmons Empowerment Foundation. And I just had to hop on, just like I promised, and give you an update about day two of the Kaizen Challenge. Are you with me? What are you doing to improve yourself every day? We're taking the month of August and we're going through the Kaizen Challenge. Kaizen is a Japanese word that means continuous improvement. And it's a concept that we teach our students in the Dear Future Me program. By the way, if you have not enrolled your teenager, you want to do that as quickly as possible because classes are forming. It's 100% virtual. You need to enroll your teenager ages 15 through 21 into our program because our Dear Future Me program is set to improve college and career readiness for at risk students. So let me tell you about my experiences from day two of the Kaizen Challenge. So I'm a firm believer in practicing what I preach. So I decided I'm going to put myself through this Kaizen Challenge because I have so many things I need to improve on. I had a hard time picking just one, but I did. And that one is exercising every day. So off to the pool I went this morning and I did my water walking because I can't swim. And so I did my water walking again today, but then I decided I wanted to use the dumbbells that you use in the water. And for those that may not know, these are like styrofoam. They weigh almost nothing until you put it in water. When you put them in the water, that changes everything. It creates this resistance. So I was getting cardio and strength training at the same time. And I guess you could say I was kind of, sort of, maybe pumping iron, but it was a great experience. And something wonderful happened. I couldn't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm glad to share it with you. So let me tell you. So I'm pushing the dumbbells down in the water on my sides, and I had one in each hand, and I'm pushing them. And the interesting thing about it is that the more I pushed down and held them down and kept them from floating back up, the more I started to float. Y'all, I started swimming. Who knew this would actually work? I got so excited. I'm treading water and I started swimming as long as I held those dumbbells down and as long as I pushed back on the resistance. Well, let me tell you, my preacher brain just kicked in while I was still in the water. It is so important that as people of God, we learn how to push back. No, I'm not talking about resisting authority. I'm not talking about uh, doing something that's ungodly and unscriptural. I'm not talking about any of that. Talking about when things come up in life that come against you, God has given us the power to push back. We've got to resist. In fact, the Bible says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. And so the more I pushed back on the resistance, the more I was able to float and to swim. And there's two things I want to share with you that happened on this second day of the Kaizen challenge. First of all, the more I pushed back on the resistance, the more my muscles began to contract in my core. Oh, I'm talking so healthy. I'm excited. And my muscles began to contract, and the muscles in my arms and my shoulders and my core began to contract because I was using resistance. In other words, because I chose to push back, I was able to experience some changes on the inside because of what was happening on the outside. These tests and trials of life are here not to destroy us, but to make us stronger. And we've got to push back and allow the resistance to do a work in us. The second thing, and I already mentioned part of it, is that the more I pushed back, the more I began to float, the more I began to swim, and I could do what I had never been able to do before. And that's the second point. When you begin to push back on the hatred around you and push back on the negative things that are said about you and push back. And I don't mean argue, I don't mean talk bad about people, but when you push back in godly love and back in random acts of kindness, God begins to allow you to do what you thought you could not do before. Because I promise you, yesterday, for day one of the Kaizen challenge, I couldn't swim. I didn't know how to swim. But the lesson was learned today when I started pushing back on the resistance. I challenge you today, start pushing back. Start pushing back against the wiles of the enemy. You don't have to take everything that the enemy throws your way. You can be strong. In fact, the Bible says that the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. I challenge you, you got to get with me on this Kaizen challenge because something is happening far more than just me exercising every day. I don't think I was expecting these changes and this change of mindset. And that's exactly what's intended to happen in our Dear Future Me program, is to change the mindset of at-risk students so that they know that they can be successful, that they can build a life that they're pleased with, that they can change the course of their lives and their destinies forever if they will just push back against the norm and push back against whatever your family history is and push back against the circumstances that you've been dealt. There's victory, there is power, and there is strength in the pushback. Before you ever make a comeback, you've got to make a pushback. You've got to have that resistance because the power that you will experience will be greater. In fact, Jesus said in his word, greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm pushing back and I will be back with you tomorrow for day 3. Won't you join me? Make sure you like, comment, and share this video so that others can go on this journey with us because we're headed to a destination and we're going to get there because I know we have the power and the strength and the pushback to do just that.